Guys, welcome to my classroom. My name is Maritza Lara and I teach 4th grade. Well, this week is Thanksgiving week, and as most schools, we get some days off to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. Well, my school in particular only has 2 days off for the Thanksgiving holiday, therefore leaves us with only with 3 days out of the week that we get to have instruction. Well, my students they seem pretty calm about the whole Thanksgiving break, thankfully, but they are excited, and I really like to introduce the Thanksgiving traditions, or where it first originated and the history of it, and just giving them a chance to kind of get creative as well with the whole Thanksgiving holiday. So with that being said, I would like to present you some ideas I came across and some things I'm going to do in my classroom for the Thanksgiving 3 days of instruction before we get into the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm really excited, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Please let me know if there's any other ideas that you have and you'd like to share with me. My first activity or project I had them do was disguise a turkey. So I gave them a turkey template last week on Friday, and this is what it looks like, them tracing it, and then I had them cut it. Well, I gave them the turkey, and over the weekend they disguised their turkey, and they looked fabulous. So these are some of the turkeys that they brought to school today, and they were just super cute. I really liked them. I really enjoyed looking at them, and afterward this week I have made a template on their Schoology account where they are going to write about their turkey. So I presented them with a prompt to describe and be creative as to why their turkey passes the test in being disguised, and how can it escape the Thanksgiving dinner table. So let me backtrack a little bit. I do have them write it, and then I would like them to take a picture of their turkey using the Chromebook and practice actually attaching or inserting that picture into their writing. And I put a small box in their writing space so that they can attach their picture of their turkey that they created, they made. So at the end product should be something that is a writing piece with a small picture with a caption, going back to that text features. And then the next activity I have is a scavenger hunt for teaching the first Thanksgiving. I really like this activity because it's more of a self-taught, and I did find this on Teachers Pay Teachers. All it is several prompts, and they're also numbered. So they'll go through each one. I'll post these around the room, and they are several, and they just look like this. I print them out in color for my students to see and use. So I'll have them hunt around the room as a scavenger hunt, and then they get these pieces of puzzle pieces per se, and they will use the information from the text and apply it to the puzzle piece. Once they've gone on a scavenger hunt and looked for what the response or the text evidence is for that puzzle piece, they'll write it in the box or write it in the puzzle, and then they'll put the pieces together, and it should look like this. Serve it. So that is the Thanksgiving scavenger hunt text. And the next activity I have is an escape room. Now, the escape room is by far my most exciting activity I have. The escape room I plan to do on Wednesday, just because I know on Wednesday we actually have half a day. Every Wednesday we have half a day, but because it's that day right before Thanksgiving break, I think that my students might be a little bit antsy and maybe want to do more of activities, moving around. So I thought an escape room would be the perfect fit for Wednesday's activity. And the escape room, I also bought this on TPT. A great teacher created it, and I am taking advantage by using it. And all it is the QR codes. So they have, they will go around and unlock clue. So they'll use the clues, and then they'll have somewhere to to write their answers down. I do have a pies giving activity. So for my pies giving, I sent home parents a letter where I have asked parents to, and it looks like this, and I have asked parents to bring a pie, some sort of pie, and I've gave a list for parents to choose from, but I also put others, so just in case they wanted to bring something, a different kind of pie that I don't know of, and it's not listed, they are more than welcome to. But my letter just simply states that they'll be doing a pie tasting, and the pie tasting is what I call a pies giving. Is they're going to be bringing a pie in, and I wrote this letter out for my parents with different types of pies to sign up for. And what the letter simply states is they'll bring a pie, and we'll have a pie tasting in our classroom. With that attachment, because our goal for our school goal is writing, I also have a writing activity to go with the pie tasting. So they'll be doing a comparison of the 3 pies and writing description of what the pie tastes like, describe it using the 5 senses, and then they'll have a writing portion of it, and I'm using these templates to organize their writing. Now my students, and I think in general, students need a little bit of a push to develop their writing skills in the area of details and describing. And I think this was a great opportunity to get them to describe and really in depth and in detail as to how they're using their 5 senses to create writing purposes. So that will be the pies giving, and I've given my parents the opportunity to bring in the pies. I gave that to them Friday, and I've received maybe about 3 or 4. So I don't really feel like I need to go out and get more pies. I think as you can see, there were 3 columns for the pie tasting. I think with about 6 pies we should have enough, and it really is just the purpose for them to get that rhythm going of describing the pie. And a lot of them were like, I don't like a pie, but I told them that the purpose is to taste it and to have fun with it. So we'll have a little bit of juice, have the pie tasting, maybe have a Thanksgiving game or video to play with it, and then I'll have them do the writing activity to go with that. Some other activities I have that I'll put out for my students, maybe for those early finishers, are a Thanksgiving roll a story, and it looks like this. And it's just simply they roll the dice, roll a story, and they'll have a writing piece to it with a graphic organizer maybe to go along to organize their story, and it just looks like this. I also got this from Teachers Pay Teachers, and I believe this was free, but I'm not sure. I can link it down below if you are interested in this Thanksgiving roll a story printable. And I'll probably have it for my students, for those early finishers, like I was saying, that have finished all their work and would like to participate in writing roll a story in their writing station. I also have, or I would like to have, a what I am thankful for. With this piece, I want my students to write what they're thankful for, and then I actually want them to write it in a letter form and give it to their parents or their guardian. And the way I have that is I have several steps for this activity. So this is the first piece, what I am thankful for, and this is actually a brainstorming. So I want them to just have a brainstorm, jot down all the ideas that they can think of, that things that they're actually grateful for, that it comes to the heart, that they're really, really, really thankful for. And then they'll have they'll pick 6 things from their web and put them in this chart. And then they'll have an essay form, and this might be really that second piece or that third piece to those students who are really struggling to organize their writing. And it looks like this. So they'll have this piece of writing to do to organize their writing, and then I'll have them compose their essay. And I really like this template because they have these little boxes in their writing. which allows them to draw a picture. Now, I tell my students all the time, make your writing beautiful, make it appealing, where others are going to want to read it. And that's including their text features. So if they add pictures, if they add diagrams, if they add charts, if they add any sort of text feature, I ask them to make it very, very neat so that it displays nicely in the classroom, or they take it home and they appreciate their writing. They made an effort for their writing piece. That is what I'm doing for what I am thankful for. Now, I'd like my students to take it home, like I was saying, and maybe put an envelope for them and make a small gesture of gratitude for their parents. So my students have little buddies. They read with their little buddies at least once a week, or at least we try to integrate it into our day so that they get a chance to read to their little buddies once a week. The season is fall. We have planned an activity to carve a pumpkin and count the seeds that are inside. These little buddies are in Sure Start, which is pre-K, and just kind of direct them and show them how to count the seeds, how to maybe the steps to follow, and just help them out in describing what the pumpkin looks like, discovering and feeling and all those good stuff. But I also want to hold my students accountable for that activity. So I printed out some things from cfclassroom.com, and it's just a pumpkin seed rounding. So they'll be able to round the pumpkin, and I might just assign this for homework, just for extra practice. I really do like to assign my students homework that spirals from what we've already done in the classroom. And then they'll have a pumpkin seed math activity to go with that. So based on the pumpkins that they got, and they'll probably have this to the side after following through with their little buddy, and I'll have them do a pumpkin seed math activity sheet. And this goes through skills we've already gone through in class, such as estimating, numbers in expanded form, numbers in written form, and numbers to the nearest 10, numbers to the nearest 100, adding and subtracting, and writing it in picture form. All of those skills we've already done in class, and that's what this goes through. All of these go through those skills. So I just want to hold my students accountable for that activity, and spiraling and getting that opportunity for them to use those skills is a perfect opportunity. So that's what this is for. Besides the fact that they're really going to enjoy this activity with their little buddies. And of course, I want them, again, to do some writing on it. So I want them to be able to write this experience in these lines, and I printed a nice little cute template for them write it. And I haven't quite decided yet whether I want them to write it in the form to inform me of what this activity looked like in the classroom, or what they did with their little buddy, maybe the conversations that they had with their little buddy, or if I want them to maybe write an essay form of it and give it to their little buddy for their parents to read about this activity that they had in the classroom. So I haven't quite decided. If you have any comments, please let me know. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I really do want this activity to be meaningful for my students, and in the form that they get to have this experience to be a big buddy for their little buddies, because they're role model to them and to me. It's a big deal for them to show them they appreciate having these experiences with them. So that's what this opportunity is for. And I'm really excited to see what they come up with, or what conversations they have during this activity. So that's all I have for this week. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. We only get 3 days of instruction, so I'm trying to make the best of it, trying to integrate, to have some of those activities, fun activities for them, but also not to steer away so much from the curriculum, because I do want to pace myself and make sure I'm on the right track here. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out, and I hope these activities were helpful to you, and maybe gathering some ideas of what you want to do in your classroom. Let me know what you think of my activities in the comments below. I'd love to hear them and hear some other ideas that you might have that you'd like to share with us.